Hello, everyone. Welcome to our tapping session with our beautiful and amazing Kael. Welcome back, Kael. We had such a wonderful sessions before life happened, but we are so happy to have you back. So I will just read a little bit from your bio, so please feel free to chime in. So what we know about Kael, that she is an Ayurvedic practitioner, over 20 years of experience. Then we know that she combined Ayurveda with EFT, addressing physical and emotional issues of the body. So tell us something about yourself, Kael, before I make it wrong.
Oh, no, that was good, Elena. Thank you. I just want to really thank you for having me. It's always so good to be with this community and talk about what I love to talk about. And I appreciate the topics that you come up with, and then I kind of have to roll it around in my head and say, how are we going to get at that? And so that's a fun process for me. And I live on Vashon Island, Vashon, Washington. And so that's a little something else about me. So I've been here about 10 years, and yeah, I think that's it.
And let's just tell our community the topic is allow the body to heal and move out of the way, right?
So the topic that we came up with is being at peace with your body and allowing it to heal.
Yes, okay, yes.
Which really is about getting out of the way, yes.
Yes.
So, you're giving the punchline away. Yeah, so being at peace with your body and allowing it to heal. So I thought what we'd start with is just kind of rating an affirmation on a scale of 0% true to 100% true. Just looking at the statement, I am at peace with my body, and just check in with that and just kind of take a guess at how true that is. And then we can look back at the end of the session. I am at peace with my body. And you can go ahead, since, if you don't mind just saying, you can, but if you want to put it in the chat, you can do that too. But since we're a small group here today, if you're open to participating, Laurie, it'd be great to.
Oh, I'm saying about a 4.
Oh, wait. Okay, so 40. So if we're looking at percentage, 0 to 100%, would you say about 40%?
3%. Yeah.
That's good. And that can shift for us, right? Depending on what we're dealing with and where we're at. And I kind of got like a 55% for me today.
What phase of the moon it is, and
yeah.
I'm about 40% also, because I'm in pain, and I'm healthy, so I'm not.
So
I'm
we're just
surprised.
We're not going to invalidate where we're at. We're just going to allow ourselves to have what we have, which is that's what's right now, right? And so, and yeah, definitely when we're in pain, it's harder. It might occur harder to be at peace with our body, but there really the possibility is, and the other way you could say it is, I am in partnership with my body. And that might have a little different rating for you, but just kind of feeling into that, I'm in partnership with my body, and just notice where that's at, if that's a little higher or lower.
That definitely feels better to me.
Yeah, like that little more possibility.
We're working on this.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in peace, or I am in partnership with my body. And we might feel like more of a yes when our body on a feel good day, right? And so but it might be possible to be like 100%. What would that even be like, to be 100% at peace and partnership with our bodies, regardless of what's going on? And what's that?
That would be the goal.
Yeah, that would feel amazing, right? Because there's always something, but often the peace isn't, or the lack of peace is more about the thoughts or feelings that we have around our body. So it's not really what's going on with our body as much it is the feeling and our body's just expressing to us maybe places where it hasn't been fully accepted or allowed or connected or trying to share something with us. Our body is always, consider that your body is always working to keep you safe, to protect you. And so our bodies, and there's some, it's a partnership. There's something to learn from our bodies. So, so kind of looking at what's like, what is it there that's maybe doesn't feel at peace? It might be some belief you have when you check in with what's going on with your body, or it might be some way that you keep fighting your body or trying to fix, right? So maybe, and then looking at the other piece of our intention tonight is allowing it to heal, right? Allowing is very different than striving, than working hard at it, than trying to fix it, right? Those are all anti-allowing. Allowing looks more like, if you had the analogy of like paddling really hard upstream, right? That's not in a state of allowing. That is like, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to figure it out. I got to do the right diet. I got to take the right supplements, right? As opposed to that, like allowing is just cruising downstream. You're just letting go of the oars. You're trusting. You're in this connection and dance with your body. Your body's in communication with you, right? Just to give a little bit of a sense. So if you kind of looked in with where you notice that kind of upstream sort of struggle with your body, that place where you lose peace, it might be a conversation that something's wrong with it. I got to fix it. I got to do everything right. Working really hard.
It's interesting that you brought that up because I've been like working really hard at trying to fix things, but the actual thought came to me today alone, and this is something with the infection that I'm trying to get rid of. The thought came to me today is just like, if this round doesn't work, I think I need just to leave go for a while and not strive so hard to try to get rid of this. Do I just need to leave go for a bit and step back and do what I'm able to do and just see where I end up with that?
So when do you mind working with me a little bit, Lori?
Sure.
Okay, I appreciate it. And everyone listening will appreciate the value that they get from you sharing. So thank you. So this infection, so that you're trying to get rid of, that might be a belief around it, right? I have to get rid of it. What other thoughts or feelings come up like that feel like that striving or not feel at peace for you around it?
I'm trying to get rid of it because it's not a good bug to have.
Mm-hmm.
So in wanting myself to feel better by getting rid of it, it might make me feel better. My joints might not hurt so much. I might not have so much inflammation. I may be able to get back on a healthier path than where I am right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And is there any emotion there coming up as you talk about it?
Well, there's a lot of frustration around this.
Yeah.
Because this is round 3, I think, that I'm trying to get rid of this thing, and this is like, okay, I have this real positive attitude going in. Okay, we're going to get rid of this. I'm eating the way I'm supposed to be eating, and stop the protocol 2 months later, and lo and behold, it's still there.
Yeah. Okay, so the first step of any of this, of returning to peace and partnership with our body, is just acknowledging what's there. Right. So that's what we're doing, where you're just acknowledging, like, and Ilona, is there anything for you, with this hand or anything, any conversations you're having about that is there, like a belief or a thought or a feeling around that?
I'm not sure, maybe questioning why is this happening?
Mm-hmm.
The pain, the cast is off. I should not have pain.
Oh, yeah. So right there, that one, I shouldn't have pain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the belief. And when you think that thought, why do I have pain, right? That's the question you're asking. Why do I have pain? I shouldn't have pain. What's the feeling there when you think that?
Sadness.
Yeah, some sadness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so with both of you, just with that emotion, the frustration, the sadness, just noticing where it is in the body.
My sadness is in my chest and even a little bit in my hand.
Yeah, you can feel it in your hand. And how high is that sadness on a scale of 1 to 10 right now? When you think about,
I would say maybe
what's
7
wrong
for me.
Okay. And what about you, Lori? With the frustration?
A lot in my heart.
Uh-huh. And how high is that frustration?
It's probably about a 9 or a 10.
Okay, yeah. So what I'm going to do is we're going to, for everyone that's going to listen to this later, and for Ilona, we're going to do what's called borrowing benefits. So we checked in with your issue, Ilona, but we're just going to set it aside and we're going to tap along with Lori. Right? I'm going to work with you, Lori, and we're going to say the words that you're saying. And my aim is always to use your words, because our words are so important. And then in the end, we'll check in with the intensity, and Ilona can check in with hers, but she's not going to worry about her issue right now. She's going to put it aside and then check in with it after. Okay, so just starting here, we're going to tap on the side of the hand. So for those that maybe have never done EFT, emotional freedom technique, we're tapping on meridian endpoints, or because I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, they're also marma points, with your energy points. So the intersection between the physical, spiritual, emotional. So we're accessing the physical body to release emotions that might be stored in the channels of our body that are creating interference to our full vitality, healing, joy. We got Kimberly coming on. So I'll just give her a moment to show up. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, how are you?
Good, welcome. So Kimberly, if you don't want to jump right in, but we were just tapping on. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and have you just tap. We're gonna tap with Lori, and then we'll come in and see and check in. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we're just talking about being at peace with our bodies and allowing it to heal. So just kind of noticing. So we just kind of identified, so you can look for yourself where maybe you feel there's a struggle, where you're not at peace. And actually, I'm gonna back up, Kimberly. If I just asked you that question, which is what I asked everyone right off at the beginning, or the idea, I am at peace with my body. How true is that on a scale of 0% to 100%?
100. God, I feel quite disconnected with what I want to do in my body. So I don't know, 50% maybe.
So 50% true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other statement I use too is I'm in partnership with my body. So that might feel a little different.
Yeah, that feels a little bit higher. I mean, like 70%.
Yeah. Everyone felt like, oh, that one's a little bit easier. But
yeah,
we're more going, this call's really about getting at peace, but that looks like a lot of things,
Yeah, I don't know if I answered that the right way. That one, it's tricky. You have to think about it, but I'm not even going to dwell on it.
That's right. We're not giving it a lot of thought. We're just letting whatever arises, because there's no actual number. It's like a feeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So So we're just going to tap along with Lori, and we're going to get borrowing benefits in our own area. That maybe we feel some striving or working really hard or frustration around some disconnect with our body, or somewhere that we're trying to fix this idea that there's something wrong. All right. So we're just going to actually, Ilona and Kimberly, you can go ahead and mute yourself, and I'll tap with Lori and just repeat what Lori says in the tapping, and then we'll come back around. But you're going to be tapping with us and saying it aloud if you're able to in your space. So we're just tapping. Have you done, Kimberly, have you done tapping before? I feel like you've been on a call with me, right? I can't hear you, Kimberly, but.
Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, I've done some tapping before, so we'll see how well I remember it. I think I got it.
It's okay. You don't have to remember. We're going to all do it together, so no worries. Okay, so go ahead and mute yourself again. Okay, and Lori, if the words change for you or something else comes up, you can add it and I'll follow that. Okay. So even though I feel this frustration in my heart.
Even though I feel this frustration in my heart.
Yeah, I've been trying to get rid of this infection.
I've been trying to get rid of this infection.
Yeah, I'm on my third round.
The third round.
Yeah, yeah, what's that? Yeah. Sometimes sound is really good, or that face. Yeah, I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself.
I'm open to completely and deeply accepting myself.
Yeah, and everyone that's tapping along with her, go ahead and say the words as well with her, because you'll get benefit as well. And we'll also support Lori. So even though I feel this frustration.
Even though I feel this frustration.
I can feel it in my heart.
I can feel it in my heart.
Yeah, this is the third round trying to get rid of this infection.
The third round trying to get rid of this bloody infection.
It's bloody,
bloody rotten, yucky.
Yeah, I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself.
I'm open to completely and deeply loving and accept myself.
Okay, do you want to add the loving?
Why not?
Well, does that feel good?
It's good.
Okay. Yeah, that end statement is very personal to people. Some people aren't there. Some people aren't even open to accepting or loving. So we just say, I might be okay, or I'm open to the possibility that I could accept myself. So yeah, even though I feel this frustration in my heart.
Even though I feel this frustration in my heart.
Yeah, I'm on the third round trying to get rid of this bloody infection.
Third round trying to get rid of this bloody infection.
Yeah. I'm open to deeply and completely loving and accepting myself.
I'm open to completely and deeply loving and accept myself. I'm like all over the place tonight.
Yeah, you're great. You're great. So then tapping on the top of the head. And these are just the reminder points. Generally, you can just tap on the emotion, this frustration.
Frustration.
Yeah, good. And then tapping here between the brows, this frustration.
Frustration.
Yeah, trying to get rid of this bloody infection.
Trying to get rid of this bloody infection.
Side of eye, this frustration.
Frustration.
I'm on my third round.
I'm on my third round.
And it hasn't worked.
It hasn't worked.
And I'm trying really hard.
I'm trying really hard.
I'm working really hard.
I'm working really hard.
Yeah, I'm doing everything right.
I'm doing everything right that I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I'm being good.
Being good.
Under the eye, this frustration.
Frustration.
Yeah, that it hasn't worked.
That it hasn't worked.
Under the nose, this frustration.
Frustration.
Yeah, thinking about being on the third round of this medication.
Thinking about being on the third round of this medication.
On the chin, this frustration.
Frustration.
Feeling it in my heart.
Feeling it in my heart.
And then tapping here under the collarbones, this frustration.
Frustration.
And then reaching around under the arm, it's going to be right here, this frustration.
Frustration.
Good. And then taking a breath. Good. And just checking in again, thinking about being on the third round, and there might be some little parts. Sometimes we have shifting aspects. So we might be thinking of a particular thing around it, or, you know, the emotion can shift or change. But if you look at that, thinking about being on the third round, trying to get rid of this infection, how high is the frustration right now?
It's still pretty high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still 9 or 10, or has it shifted at all?
And now maybe an 8 or 9.
Okay. And are there any particular thoughts coming up around that? Anything else coming up for you, or something when you think about the frustration that you're particularly focused on?
What's wrong with my body that it's not getting rid of this?
Ah, right. And that right there is the resistance, right? It's like, what is wrong? We're asking these questions that are just like, what is wrong? What is wrong with my body? Not getting rid of this. Yeah. So Kimberly, just to give you, so you're on playing with something too. So just looking at maybe a belief or a thought or something that's in the way of you being totally in partnership and peace with your body. So what comes up when you think about your body or a particular issue that you're dealing with?
I'm just personally frustrated with my health. I got a lot of things going, a poor immune system right now. A lot of gut and then food intolerance. So I'm just super frustrated.
And where do you feel that in your body?
A lot in my torso, to be honest. I mean, I feel it all over, but I think like the center of it is here, my stomach.
Stomach?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you think about that frustration with your health, is there something particular that comes to mind, or some
anger?
Okay, so frustration and anger?
Yeah, pretty much.
Which one's higher?
Probably frustration.
Okay, so how high is the frustration on a scale of 1 to 10?
Geez, that's probably a 10.
Okay, so I'm trying to get you a little bit more specific, because it's like frustration with my health, which is pretty broad.
Mm-hmm.
So is there something particular that you're feeling really frustrated with? Like something you're at work on? I'm working really hard at this, and I
am. I mean, I've given up like 90% of the food that I eat, so I'm kind of frustrated, avoiding alcohol, avoiding caffeine, avoiding sugar. And I try to exercise, and I don't smoke. I don't really do, I'm active. I don't really do anything. I'm trying to do the sleep hygiene and be better about that, and it's not working.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I guess,
doing, yeah.
yeah. And I'm also just frustrated with my whole fear. I have a lot of like PTSD from my reactions to things because it's gone on for so long. So I'm a little frustrated with myself, like my mentality, and because usually I can like charge through anything, and this has kind of changed me a bit, which it's like, who am I? So I think that I'm also frustrated, a little almost scared and worried about, because it's like, well, where'd she go? But so I think I got a few things going on, honestly.
Yeah. So which one feels stronger for you right now as you talk about it? Where did she go?
Frustration is still the one, is definitely the leader.
Is it more about I'm doing everything right and I'm working really hard, or is
I'm just not getting better. I'm just not
better.
feeling better. I there's some days I'm like, oh, maybe it's getting better, and then I'm like, nope. I think I'm changing my mentality around it, to be honest. And that's where I feel better, at times, is kind of accepting the new me. But at the same time, then the old Kim, rears its head back and wants the old Kim back, honestly.
Yeah. Where's the old Kim? What's wrong with me? Again, it's a little bit of that, right?
Yeah, I feel. Okay. I think I feel a lot of things. I don't know. I don't know if that's normal or not. You feel a little frustrated.
It is. It's big. Yeah. It's big. So yeah. So I'm gonna do another round with Lori, and tap along and just say what she says. We're gonna put yours aside, but we'll check in with it after this round. Okay. 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 Tapping on the side of the hand, even though I feel this frustration.
Even though I feel this frustration.
Yeah, thinking about being on my third round of antibiotics, or what is it?
Thinking about being on my third round of supplements.
Whatever. Yeah, trying to get rid of this infection.
Trying to get rid of this infection.
Yeah, what's wrong with my body that I'm not getting rid of it?
What is wrong with my body that I'm not getting rid of it?
Yeah, and are you still feeling that in your heart, or has it moved somewhere else?
I actually, it's there and also in my jaw. I feel like a lot of tension in my jaw of this, like, this.
Yeah, so go ahead and just say that. Good. Even though I feel all this frustration in my heart and my jaw.
Even though I feel all this frustration in my heart and my jaw.
What is wrong with my body that I'm not getting rid of it?
What is wrong with my body that I'm not getting rid of it?
Yeah, I'm open, and I'm going to keep this phrase, okay? I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself where I'm at.
I am, oh my gosh.
I'm open.
I am open
To deeply and completely accepting myself
where I am.
Yeah. Even though I feel all this frustration.
Even though I feel all this frustration.
In my heart and my jaw.
In my heart and my jaw.
What is wrong with my body that I'm not getting rid of this?
What is wrong with my body that I'm not getting rid of this?
I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself.
I'm open and deep. I am open to completely and deeply accepting myself.
Good. Good. And then tapping on the top of the head, this frustration.
Frustration.
Between the brows, this frustration.
Frustration.
I can feel it in my heart and my jaw.
I can feel it in my heart and my jaw.
Side of the eye, this frustration.
Frustration.
What's wrong with my body?
What is wrong with my body?
Body, what's wrong with you?
Body, what is going on with you, girl?
What is going on that we're not getting rid of this?
What's going on that we're not getting rid of this?
Good. Under the eye, this frustration.
Frustration.
Feeling it in my heart and my jaw.
Feeling it in my heart and my jaw.
Under the nose, this frustration.
Frustration.
Thinking about being on my third round of whatever.
Thinking about being on my third round of supplements.
Something. On the chin, it's not getting rid of it.
Not getting rid of it.
Yeah, this frustration.
Frustration.
My heart and my jaw.
My heart, my jaw.
Under the collarbones, this frustration in my heart and my jaw.
This frustration in my heart and my jaw.
Good. Under the arm, this frustration in my heart and my jaw.
This frustration in my heart and my jaw.
Good. Tapping the wrists together. Sometimes I do this one, just taking a breath. If you want to make a little noise on the exhale. Good. All right. So everyone go ahead and check in with your own emotions, thinking about your issue. And Lori, where are you at with that? Thinking about it.
Probably about a 6.
Okay. And are you still, what's wrong with my body? It's not getting rid of this?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Still having that sensation of, why isn't this healing? What else do I need to do?
So I'm actually hearing a shift in your questioning. A little bit, like the first, what's wrong with my body? And it's like, why isn't it healing? And then there came a question like, what else do I need to do? Which is a little softer.
A little softer,
Actually reaching towards connection.
A little more partnership.
A little more partnership present. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then Kimberly, where are you at with that level of frustration, or is the emotion moved, or kind of your focus changed?
I feel like the energy's changed a bit. I don't,
Yeah.
I feel it more in my body. I mean, I guess than the mind, I guess just a little more calm.
A little more calm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you think about the frustration, like that you're doing all these stuff right and it doesn't seem to be really making the change you want, and where's the old me? How high is that frustration right now?
I mean, it's less,
Okay.
but I just feel more calm. I think
Okay. And what about
I think
you?
I tend to go to extremes. I don't know about Lori, but I do tapping or meditation and I really go low. Like acupuncture, actually, I get really dizzy when I do things like that because I think from such a higher state, to then
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
low.
that's beautiful that your body can drop in. That's a good sign. Yeah.
Mm.
And then Ilona, where are you at with your level?
I'm a little
Sadness.
lower, yes. So I was frustration,
Well, you were sadness actually. Maybe frustration did come up.
sadness.
Yeah. But you could just check in again. Just check in newly, like looking at your hand.
Yeah,
And the
more
thought
sadness than
I
frustration.
shouldn't have this pain.
Yeah, more sadness than frustration.
Yeah. And how high is the sadness right now?
So I will say 5.
Yeah. So that's dropped from a 7 to a
Yes.
5. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what I would like to do, I'm just looking at time and wanting us to, so, what I talked about was the first step in this really is just meeting ourselves where we are, with whatever the resistance is around being at peace, being with our bodies. We have these thoughts, it shouldn't be like this. What's wrong with me? Like, these are thoughts that run most of the time in the background, right? So we're actually allowing ourselves to give a voice to that. And if we just jump into trying to connect with the body and that's in the way, there won't be, if we're like at a 10 frustration and we're like, okay, body, okay, tell me what I need to do. What's going on? The body's going to be like, mostly if you haven't been connecting with your body, if you haven't been meeting your body, you've been working really hard to fix it. So we talked about like the difference between paddling upstream or paddling downstream, but you've been working really hard. A lot of times that working really hard is from a place of kind of getting away from the sensation, like getting away from the body. Like I'm just gonna get rid of that. I mean, even the languaging, and it's not that we're not going to take actions, but when we get to a place of peace, when we get to a place of connection with our body, they come from a really different place. It comes from this maybe a soft place of connection. It comes from a loving place of, ooh, what do you need? How would this feel for you? And instead of annihilating, getting rid of, like the what were the words I wrote down? It's like the kind of that prescriptive, compulsive way of caring for ourselves that's not really in flow or fluidity, but it's like, it's desperation, right? To get somewhere. And so anyway, just the first step is just meeting ourselves with whatever we got going on about it. And even in that, just taking the moment to meet ourselves, we actually come back to ourselves like, oh, having some feelings around this. There's stuff going on. Yeah. So we're going to take a moment just to check in now that we've taken a little bit off the top. Of course, we could tap on that for a full hour, right? Like we could keep going and get it down. It would take us all different places. We could clean up a lot. So I'm going to invite you all to keep tapping as you notice things that come up like resistance, because I don't know about you, but it's like, I got the information. I know that doesn't work. I know that actually what works is connection, trust, surrender. But the habit of fighting, of figuring it out, fixing is so like it's such a groove that it's like, ooh, pain, got to fix it. Got to, like, we're constantly jumping. So it doesn't really, because our bodies are giving us information. Our bodies are our partners. Like, they are here to help us. There's a really good reason why that hasn't worked. And it might be that there's something underneath it. Like, there might be a belief system underneath that of not being enough, of, I'll just go back to what you said. So I'm just kind of making this up based on that. But if it resonates, like, what's wrong with my body that it's not getting rid of? Like, we have ancient beliefs about what's wrong with our bodies. So, it's like, there might be a question, something like, ooh, what's right about this that I haven't noticed? What's right about this? That's a whole.
What's the lesson?
Yeah, it could be the lesson, but that question, even what's the lesson, sends us into our head, searching to work really hard to figure that out so that I can then heal some. Like, we're so driven, we're so hardwired to go there. So, but yeah, what's right about this? Almost just, it's sort of this expansive question, like, oh, wow, there could be something right about how it's going. That the possibility that there's actually nothing wrong. And, I'm just going to throw it out there. We're just going to kind of open up to that possibility that there's nothing wrong with us, nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your body. That the experiences you've had, the things you've done, I know it's like, wait, that can't be. Like, that there's something wrong with the way it went. That there's actually something right. Like, the intelligence that you are, the source energy that is connecting you to your process and your path. Like, what if there's nothing wrong here? What if this is all right? Like, to actually be able to surrender to what's coming through us that wants attention. So the key, like, what I think is the golden, I was thinking about, it's like liquid gold for our bodies and for our minds is our precious attention. Like, just turning towards ourselves at all is like liquid gold to the body in terms of healing. Like, all we want is delightful and present attention. And our own attention to ourselves is so powerful and potent. If you think about it like a practitioner, like going to see a practitioner, they've actually done studies. They found that the modality has almost negligible effect on the outcome. The most important part is your connection to the process, to yourself, and to your, it's your trust in the practitioner, but really it's like trust in ourselves, trust in our own process. I was thinking about when I really got this at one level, it was like when my daughter we moved to a new area. It was like in the middle of nowhere. She was going to this school, and like, she just shut down. She was just shut down. Like, her learning got shut down. She was 9 years old. I could just tell she was like flatlining. And, like her creativity, like when she was usually drawing, it was not happening. Nothing was happening. And I pretty quickly that first week went to an open house. And I talked to her teacher. I said, how's it going? And he had lots of complaints about Leela. She sits there and she looks in the mirror all the time. Like, what do you have mirrors in your room for? She looks in the mirror, she's distracted. And I said, well, how are you doing? He goes, surviving. And I didn't have her go back another day. I pulled her out and I put her in a homeschool situation. And the teacher there was like, your daughter is brilliant. Like, she's blowing my mind. And my daughter just came to life. That's what I realized, like, oh, we thrive when we're delighted in. So our bodies thrive with our present delighted attention, not from a place of fixing an agenda. If you've had kids, if you talk to your kids from fixing them or what's wrong, they won't tell you anything. So I've done a lot of talking, but I just, I'm kind of unraveling it. And so I just want to pause there and just kind of hear maybe something that's standing out for you or lighting up for you or something you heard in that.
Well, I like what you talked about the process, and just what brings to mind is everything I've gone to from the beginning has brought me to right now. And that's the way it was supposed to happen. That's the way it needed to happen to get me to this point. And it's not going back and looking at all the crap in the past and dwelling on it, but yeah, that got me to where I am today and who I am today. And yeah, it's that process. It's being aware and paying attention to the body, because I don't think we pay attention enough unless we're sick or in pain.
Yeah,
that
body has to scream pretty loud.
it needs more attention.
Yeah.
On a regular basis when it feels good.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Lori, for highlighting that. That's beautiful. And if you have paper there, just write that down for yourself, because we have insights, and then we forget, but to go back and be like, oh yeah, this is my process. And I heard like more openness and acceptance in what you just shared. Yeah. And appreciation too.
Yeah, the body's an amazing thing. I mean, look at what we can do. So yeah, I'm still walking and talking, and so it's good.
Yeah. Thanks, Lori. Anything for you, Kimberly, that kind of lit up or that you're...
Yeah, I think, given your body and yourself, like the praise and the attention towards things that might be going right when a lot of things seem like they're not going right. I think that I've been trying to be better about that, is, acknowledging the good days and what is going right, and not focusing and trying to rewire my brain and my thinking, and looking forward and changing how we feel about things and how we're kind of geared to finding what's wrong.
Yeah. And that's part of our brain trying to protect us, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to look out for danger and look what's wrong and fix that. And, but we can start to notice as we keep doing the work, like we can start to notice, oh, the brain's doing that. And I can come into my own center. I can come into my own peace. And, you can acknowledge the brain. Thank you. Thank you for giving me that information. I hear that you're scared and worried, and
trying to look at the little goals, that will eventually get you to the big goals, I think is sometimes hard, especially when you've lost a lot, or you feel like you've lost a lot of yourself. I think it's, you want it back and you want it back now, is kind of just appreciating the little steps and the little progress.
Yeah. And it's like, we can't, in the moment of wanting back what we had, because somehow that we're not trusting the process, that where we are now is where is leading us to where we're going. That's perfect in this moment. Right. It's like, oh, we unfortunately we can only see, where we are right now in the we can't see where we're going yet.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a moment and just tune in, whether it's a hand on part of the body, maybe for you, Lori, on the abdomen, Kimberly, wherever you want to put your, and Ilana might be on your hand, and just putting, or maybe a couple hands on the body. And we're just going to take a couple minutes to breathe in and just ask first just start by connecting with your body. So I'll just take you through a little process of connection. Just see how the body responds to that. And it might be even getting a little bit more specific, like, hi, Lori's microbiome or gut or whatever, like, how are you doing? Hi, I'm here. I'm listening. Just let the body know I'm listening. I'm just listening, and just notice yourself settle back into yourself, into the back of your body, like really just being there in a really like you would to your dearest and nearest, like you're just without agenda, just really here. And maybe just ask your body, there's a couple ways you might say, what do you need to tell me? What are you needing right now? Or what do you want to tell me? And when your body talks to you, just say, just be like, I hear you. I hear that you need that. I'm listening. When you're ready, just go ahead and come on back. And if you want to share anything about that conversation with your body. Yeah, Kimberly.
Oh yeah, I hit the unmute. Yeah, whoops, I guess I'm on call. No, I mean, I guess just coming from a place of like love, that I still like accept and like love myself. As weird as that might sound, but
yeah. Yeah, so did you felt that connection, like
yeah, I just I just think I had to embrace, myself and where I'm at and be willing to love myself how I am now. Like, in the moment, I guess.
So is that what your body asked for, or was there anything, or is it just a feeling?
I guess that's just a feeling. I mean, I guess maybe that's what my body's asking too. That's just what came to that's just what came to me.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
know.
As we tune in, whatever it is, it comes
It
up.
just comes. I noticed that when I did tapping before, and I'm like, sometimes it wouldn't make sense. And she told me not to think too much about what it was, that was coming. But sometimes I feel alone. The two things I kind of felt during that were like love and then just being alone. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me interpret, but that's what came.
Yeah. So I'm going to come back to you in a minute, but I'm going to check in with Lori.
I got, give yourself a hug. And I think that needs to be part of of a daily process of just hugging on myself.
Yeah, and who knows what that looks like? Like, who know what a hug might be?
Yeah.
That kind of. Yeah, and just allowing that information to not be prescriptive. Like, oh, I'm gonna, what we do is we jump to, oh yeah, 9 a.m. every morning when I get up, I'm gonna give myself a right. It's like we're so quick to put it into this thing of doing stuff right and getting somewhere. It's like, oh, that feels really good. So I don't know right now, Lori, if you were to give yourself a hug, what would that look like?
Yeah, just
yeah, maybe we can, let's all do that with Lori's.
right there. I mean, it's
and maybe make some little sounds like feel how that feels for the body to receive that.
I think it's about not so much prescriptive of every day it has to get, but
Yeah.
being aware of when I need that,
Yeah.
and not being able to get it from anybody else, but I need to give that to myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And that like turning towards the body is just like turning towards you with a hand. And, you might even just ask, do you need a hug? Would it feel really sweet to have a hug right now? And the body will just be like, you'll feel the whole body, because everything lights up when we give ourselves attention. Like I said, it's liquid gold. It's just even that you can feel the whole body, the resonance in your system will shift when the body's like, yes, 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 yes. A hug is good. So Kimberly, can we do a round of tapping with you?
Sure. Yep.
All right. So you said alone.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to just check in maybe with a hand on your body again, and just giving a little bit of empathy, and you could just take a little guess, like with your body. And maybe get a little bit more explicit. I'll take a little guess, and you can see if this resonates, or then you can take a guess. But I'm wondering, Kimberly's body, if you're feeling, and just tune in with yourself as I ask. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just I'm wondering if you're feeling alone, dealing with everything you're dealing with, and not knowing how to get back to your old self.
I think in many different ways I feel alone. I don't really have a lot of support, and I feel a little lost on getting back, so I think it's multifaceted, probably.
So let's just do a round of tapping on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you think, feel that feeling of feeling alone, where do you feel that in your body?
I think in my chest.
Okay. And are you thinking about like getting back to yourself, or that feeling like I don't have a lot of support?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't have a lot of support, so I feel like I'm left managing lots of things on my own. I mean, and I feel like I need to be whole myself to do what I need to do for everybody else. Like my kids, basically. So I think the burden becomes too much sometimes, because I don't feel whole, like health wise.
Yeah.
Which has then affected my mentality, and that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
Good.
affected many different areas, of myself. It's not just the stomach anymore. And
Yeah, even though I feel alone.
even though I feel alone.
Yeah, and I'm feeling it in my chest.
And I feel it in my chest.
Thinking about not having the support I need to manage everything.
Thinking about not having the support I need to manage everything.
Yeah, and having to be whole for my kids.
And having to be whole for my kids.
Yeah. Needing to be well for them.
Needing to be well for them.
And it's just a lot.
And it's just a lot.
I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself.
I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself.
Even though I feel alone.
Even though I feel alone.
And I can feel it in my chest.
And I can feel it in my chest.
Yeah, thinking about not having the support I need to manage everything.
Thinking about not having the support I need to manage everything.
Yeah, and care for my children.
And care for my children.
I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself.
I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself.
Even though I feel alone.
Even though I feel alone.
And I can feel it in my chest.
And I can feel it in my chest.
Yeah. Feeling like I don't have the support.
Feeling like I don't have the support.
To manage everything.
To manage everything.
And that I need to be whole for my kids.
And that I need to be whole for my kids.
And that somehow this sickness is not allowing me to be whole.
And somehow allowing the sickness to not allow me to be whole.
Yeah.
Did I say that wrong?
No, you're fine. You're fine. You got the gist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself.
I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself.
Good. Top ahead, feeling alone
Feeling alone
with everything I have to manage.
with everything I have to manage.
Between the brows, feeling alone in my chest.
Feeling alone in my chest.
Side of eye, feeling alone.
Feeling alone.
Yeah, and I just want to love myself where I'm at.
I just want to love myself where I'm at.
Under the eye, and I feel alone
And I feel alone
with all I have to manage by myself.
with all I have to manage by myself.
Under the nose, feeling alone.
Feeling alone.
On the chin, feeling alone in my chest.
Feeling alone in my chest.
That's where I'm at right now.
That's where I'm at right now.
Under the collarbone, feeling alone.
Feeling alone.
With all I have to manage by myself.
With all I have to manage by myself.
Under the arm, feeling alone.
Feeling alone.
Good. And tapping the wrists together and just taking a breath. That feels good. Ah. Good. And do people have water there? If you have water, drink some water.
Yep.
Mhm. So just checking in again, hand on the body. Everyone can take a moment to check into and I'm wondering, Kimberly, if it would be sweet for your body to know that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just
I mean,
notice.
support is just the one word that popped in my head, after we go through the tapping and
Yeah. So maybe another hand on the body and just ask the body, body, would it be sweet to know that you have support? That I'm supporting you. That you're not alone. And just see what the body feels about that. And I'm wondering if your body would appreciate some acknowledgement for how hard it's working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, does that resonate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. So this is another technique, not tapping, but just another way of giving empathy and asking our bodies. Just like, and you can just take guesses. And I don't know if you notice, like when something hits, the body goes, yes. Or the body, you're right, there's a little bit of a resonance, like often it'll feel like a softening. Like, oh, yeah, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you want to share, Kimberly, about support or anything else coming up for you?
I mean, I think you hit it on the head, is just kind of giving yourself a little bit of credit and support that it's not easy, that. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to give that to yourself, I think sometimes.
Yeah, we're not really.
I'm super critical. I'm not the funny part is I'm not that critical of other people, but I am about myself, which is really interesting. I've always been like that. So I think sometimes giving yourself some grace.
So I would have you look there as a core issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're asking the questions, what's right about this? And our bodies are always moving us towards expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are always working towards expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, what is my body really asking me to heal here?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? It's like, okay, love me now. Love me now.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to be critical still now?
I'll be less critical. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice to myself. Because I'm really not that hard on anyone else, which is funny.
Check in with your body and see how it feels about hearing that. Just ask internally, does it feel sweet to hear that I'm going to be nice to you?
It does.
Oh, would you appreciate that?
Mm-hmm.
If I was as compassionate, loving to you as I am to others? Oh.
Yes, I know, I need to be.
Oh, because that place that so wants that, that's craving that, is that younger place. It's like, underneath all this is that place where we started being critical with ourselves. We decided we had to be better, or be enough, or be more. Something's wrong. So that's that younger part. So if you can imagine your kids, that inner part of you that you're critical to is your kid. It's your inner,
my inner kid, right?
Yeah, it's your inner child.
Mm-hmm.
And that criticism is like, ow, it hurts. And all we want is total acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, I know what I need to work on though.
Yeah, write it down.
Which is good. It's good to have
Will you make sure you write that down? Because
yeah,
I want it to stay with you. Yeah, so I just wrote here, I'm going to read this. The more you come into stillness, a place of connection, the more the body will let you know what it needs. And as we allow us to receive and dissolve what we think is wrong with us. So as we allow this, as we come into stillness, and we can do that through tapping on all the in the way. We can tap on that enough to be able to come back to ourselves, to connect, to get ourselves still. So whatever that is, taking a deep breath, hand on the heart. I'm here. Wow, I've been really critical with myself. So Lori, anything you want to share?
No, it's I may not be at complete peace with myself right now, but definitely more in the partnership zone, if you will, and an appreciation zone.
Yeah. So if you look at that, so let's just look now for all of us. If we look at that statement, I am at peace. I'm at peace with my body. And just notice how true that is right now. And again, just feeling into it on a percentage basis. So you can just let me know where that's at.
I'm probably up to about a 60%-ish, 65.
Woo! Yeah. And I'm in partnership with my body. Where does that?
Which even feels better.
Yeah, feels higher. Yeah. What about you, Kimberly? I'm at peace with my body. Partnership.
I think it's definitely higher, like 60%, and I think my partnership might be more like 80%, 85%, like.
Nice. Yeah. Beautiful. And Ilona, what about you?
So peace 70% and partnership 80%.
Nice.
So
yeah.
So what I got back from my body is patience. I don't want to play superhuman. Healing takes time.
So your body asks for patience.
Yes.
Nice.
And believe it or not, guys, I have so much less pain.
Yeah. I believe it. Yeah, you can check in with that. Some of these things we can't feel on the surface, but we can definitely notice the body relaxing. And I just want to invite everyone, like that's all there is to do. It's like we get so consumed with fixing, getting where, getting somewhere, that we're not enjoying the moment. Like what if we started asking ourselves, ooh, what would feel really yummy right now? What would feel fun? What would feel nourishing? Rather than, can't eat that, got to eat this, got to do that. Wow, what would feel really yummy right now? You know, what would my body, what would feel really good? If you don't know, just turning to the body and you'll say, whatever, take a nap, go for a walk, snuggle your kids. So that we're at time, yeah? We had an hour, is that right, Ilona? Okay, I had one more thing to do and we'll see if we have time. It only takes a few minutes. So it's up to you, or people can do it on their own, but I was just gonna have us write a quick, just a few minutes, writing a little letter to our bodies. Do we have time to do that?
It's up to you, Kael.
Okay, you guys, do you both have time? Okay, so just get a piece of paper. And I'm just gonna set a timer. I'll wait till Kimberly gets back. I'm just gonna set it for 2 minutes. And the beginning, it might be something like "Dear Sweet Body" is a prompt to begin with, but it could be whatever. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and pen to paper, just keep it rolling. Okay. You can just go ahead and take a moment to finish up what you're writing. And we could just end our time together, maybe not sharing the whole thing, but maybe just sharing one little part that stands out for you or that you want to just bring into the space.
I think for me, it's just basically being aware of what my body needs at any given time. It's the whole awareness piece of not just going through the day and having everything on automatic is actually it, but actually being aware of how my body is feeling at any given time.
Getting this image of like you dancing through the day with your body, like this kind of connection.
Partnership.
Yeah, this awareness, sensing yourself, not separated. Yeah. Got you, Kimberly.
Mine was kind of like a pep talk to my body, I think, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
So-
it's not always going to be like this. And sometimes, you're changing on the inside before you see big changes on the outside. And embracing that'll definitely be better someday than the last 3 years that I've been sick, and maybe even the last 10 that I've struggled, so it's kind of like pep talk, basically.
Yeah, nice. Great. What about you, Ilana?
So similar like Kimberly's a pep talk. Actually, I promised to my body that I will listen. It doesn't have to break to get my attention,
Yeah.
because that was a very big awakening for me. I was going, doing, forget the being part.
Yeah.
Because I thought I'm superhuman, I can. So apparently I cannot.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you all. It was really, really fun to be together and, just really connect in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have no more migraine, so that's nice.
Lori, and
Did that
especially
happen during
Kael.
our call?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, I had a migraine all day, actually, and then, I feel like it finally lifted.
Yeah, a
'Cause
little
I can't take anything for it. So it's
a little
awesome.
attention. How the body like that and just relaxing. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you, ladies, and thank you,
Thank
Kael.
you.
It was beautiful. Thank
Oh,
you.
it's a pleasure as always.
Yeah, and by the way, I do private sessions, so if you ever want to do a session together, I'm open to that. Yeah, love to support you in any way, and I look forward to being back. Ilana,
Yes,
we'll connect.
absolutely.
All right, have a good night.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Good night, everyone.
You.
How long do you have a minute?